Hey guys, this is Amy with Stick with the Plan. Today we're going to talk about He who promised is faithful. Stay right here, don't go anywhere. We're going to get right into it. Hey, I'm so glad you joined me today. Just thinking about the faithfulness of God. If you look in the Word of God in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, it says that by faith, Sarah received strength to conceive. She was well past the age to bear a child, but she had a promise from God. At the end of that verse, it says she judged him faithful who had promised. We need to judge God faithful to His Word and His promises, because when you know the character of a person, you can judge them faithful. God hasn't let us down yet. You know, He has been faithful time and time again. You might have a friend in life that hasn't been very faithful. They might not keep their word. They don't show up when they're supposed to. But God's not like that. He keeps His word to us. A couple of years ago, I was supposed to travel internationally for the first time. And Jay was scheduled in Bogota, Colombia for 2 weeks, and I was going to join him for the second week. Well, I was nervous about traveling alone, and he just promised me, Amy, everything's going to work out fine. You'll get there. Someone will be there to pick you up. You'll go right to the church. It's going to be so smooth. Well, the day I was scheduled to fly out, a snowstorm had hit the East Coast, so all of the flights were delayed. I was delayed leaving from Lexington, and my plane was scheduled to go to Atlanta. Instead, we changed and went to Charlotte. Then we went to Houston, and then I was scheduled over to Bogota. Well, I arrived in Houston about 1 a.m. and I just remember being so tired, and I was getting on that E train to go over to the Concourse E to international flights were leaving out of there. And I was the only one on the train, and this group of Spanish-speaking guys just surrounded me, and they looked kind of rough to me, and I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what they're saying. It just seemed scary. So I started praying, all kinds of prayers, machine gun prayers, all the prayers I knew how to pray. And, these guys, they just looked at me funny and they left. And I was just, really feeling nervous. And I just kept thinking, Jay said, everything's going to be okay, that they can just get there. He'll be faithful. And so I finally, arrive in Bogota about 6 a.m. And I had just been through such an ordeal, and I was just tired, and just kept thinking, if I can just get there, Jay will be there. And it was an ordeal getting through customs, and I'm so rattled and shaken up. I don't exchange my currency, so I get out without any money, and I'm just sitting there, looking for someone to be there for me. And I'm looking around, I can't find anybody. Nobody from the church is there. My cell phone's not working. And I knew Jay was scheduled across town to speak that morning. It was a Sunday morning. And so I'm just sitting there by a Juan Valdez little cafe booth. And I'm just thinking, but he promised me if he could get here, if I would get here, he would find me. And so I looked up. I was sitting at a lower level, and I looked up at a glass level above me, and I see Jay just running, and his tie is just flowing in the wind, a red tie, and he just looked like Superman to me. He has never looked so handsome as he did that day. I was so glad to see him and just to find him. He wasn't scheduled to get me, and another person was from the church that didn't get the message. And he wasn't even supposed to travel by himself in a cab, but he jumped in that taxi to come and find me because he was faithful to his word. He wanted to keep his promise to me, and I was so glad. God is like that with His word in your life. Jeremiah 1:12 says that He is ready to perform His word in our life. He's ready to see those promises come to pass. Another translation says He watches over it. He's watchful toward it. He hastens to it. He's running after His word to see it done. He's going to help us stick with the plans He has for our lives by keeping His word to us. He is a faithful Father to us. He's got big plans for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Oh, you're such an encouragement to me. Your testimonies, your comments, your likes, your love, they mean so much to us. All of your shares, you just keep increasing the influence that we have to spread this good news, and we are so grateful. If you've liked this today, you can go over to Amy Bailey Adkins, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell, because every week we have a brand new video just for you. I'll see you Thursday.